Yo, yo, yo. Welcome in another episode of the Four Idiots. Tonight we got Five Idiots presented by Fade U. Check the boys out. Hosting tonight, the one and only Joey Cheese. Find me on Twitter at DGen4Life84. Along with my homie Kmart at _ Kmart9. The one and only Poop Master himself, Hazmat Suit 23, and Mr. Chaz McLongball. Find him at Chazzle99.
Fuck.
And welcome in a special guest, good friend of the fam, our boy, Mr. New York Giant himself, at Jeff Buff 73. What up, Buff, man? Thanks for joining us tonight.
Hey, what's up, fellas? Yeah, thanks for having me on. Looking forward to chopping it up, putting out some winners, and giving the people what they want. Cash them tickets, baby.
That's it. So, Four Idiots Pod presented by Fade U. You know how to find us. Here to bust out this college football slate. Hopefully, bang out some winners. Let's cash some fucking tickets. So, without further ado, let's start with the guest. Buff, give us a play that you're into this weekend.
So one of the ones that I looked at over the last couple of days that I kind of like is Tulsa. Tulsa's +3. They're playing against FAU, Florida Atlantic. Florida Atlantic's kind of struggling. Lost their quarterback in the Clemson game 2 games ago. They've lost 3 in a row, kind of going on a downward spiral with this backup quarterback. FAU's offense is only ranked 106. They're 1-6 against the spread as a favorite. I don't understand how they're getting 3, how they're favored by 3 here. I think Tulsa's clearly the better team. Tulsa's 7-1 against the spread after winning 2 games in a row. Also 14-2 in a road dog spot. The defense has been solid lately. They're 15th in college football. They're 15th in turnover margin, 30th against the run, and 32nd against the pass. This is a new conference for FAU. They joined the American Athletic Conference this year. This is the first game that they're playing in conference, so a little step up in class in some of the teams that they're going to play. Tulsa's won 3 in a row. Coming off a good game last one, scoring 48 points against Temple. And also FAU, they have to travel on the road next week to South Florida. So that's a big rivalry game for them. Could be possibly maybe a little bit of a look ahead because they're worried about playing South Florida. But Tulsa should be able to put all effort in on this one. They got a bye next week. They don't play next week, so they'll be able to, get healthy. Use up whoever they need to use up this week, knowing that they got 9 or 10 days off. So my first play would be Tulsa +3.
All right. Buff, I like it. I mean, I did see the 14-2 and the road dog spot. It was a spot I looked at. Ultimately couldn't get to the window on it. But real quick, anyone else have an opinion on this game?
No opinion. Didn't get to me at all.
All right, fair enough. Buff, great breakdown. Your New York Giants fucking suck. Just kidding, Buff. Love you. Kmart, why don't you hit us with a play, pal?
So I don't know what to do with this one. This was one of my favorite picks Monday morning. UCF. So it's kind of similar to what happened last week with that Friday night game. BYU.
Where'd you get them? UCF what?
I have UCF +3, and that line is now -2. So originally, Kansas is not as good as this line suggests. In my opinion, UCF should be favored. Now they are favored. Like, I still say book them, on the money line. But, I'm obviously thrilled with the +3. I'm not actually going to zigzag here because I actually believe the line's actually right this time. But yeah, it's just really awkward to say, hey, I got +3 and now it's -2.
So Kmart, just to be clear, you would still give out UCF at -2?
I'd give them out at, to win. So play them on the money line.
So you would play them at -135?
Yeah.
I would definitely take that over -2 for sure.
Yeah, that was a spot. I mean, Kmart, I think we talked about that Monday in our other group chat. I mean, that line is something I noticed immediately. I didn't expect it to flip, but I also thought UCF should have been a favorite in that spot.
It was on my that was on my long list too, Kmart. That's a good pick. I wish I would have jumped on it when I did, but I missed the number. And now, I think I'll ride with you. I'll probably take him on the money line.
Yeah. And honestly, I had no idea until 20 minutes ago. I started just looking at the lines of what I'm about to give out, and I was like, oh man. Like, I was thinking maybe +1 pick. Wow.
That line flipped Wednesday.
Yeah.
Kansas just is not near as good as advertised. They got a bunch of really shitty wins early. They played one decent team. They got routed. Even the team that they played in BYU the week before, they had 2 defensive touchdowns, or they're probably not winning that game either.
I agree. And isn't Daniels banged up a little bit too?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. I don't remember. Was it last week? Oh yeah, I was on Texas. Was one of my best bets last week. I bet against Kansas last week. And we saw how Kansas fucking manhandled them. All right, cool. So UCF on the money line played up to -135. Obviously, any better line is recommended. Chasmick long ball. Hit us with something.
I'm sticking in the Big Ten this week. There's some big lines over there in divisional games. Guys that are used to seeing each other. I'm going to start with Rutgers catching 13.5. Wisconsin is not an offensive juggernaut. They have 3 passing touchdowns on the year. They're going to mostly try to keep the ball on the ground. I think Winsat's a decent quarterback. I don't think he's a world beater, but he's not turning the ball over. If Rutgers just hangs on to the ball and runs the ball effectively, just like Wisconsin's going to try to do, it's going to be a low-scoring game. I don't know that they're going to scare an outright victory on the road in Wisconsin in the morning slot, but I would expect this to be no more than a 1-score game.
Rutgers +13.5, huh?
Yep.
All right. There we go. Not a game I looked at for more than 10 minutes. I couldn't get to a
You
side.
look at it for more than 10 minutes. That's more than I looked at any of my games.
Yeah, I mean, I spend hours on this shit.
I like that one too, but I picked a different one in the Big Ten. But
Mr. Chief Sanitation Officer, hazmat suit. What do you got for us, pal?
I know you mentioned you like this one too, and I don't care if you and I are on it together or you claim it or I claim it. It's a system play, and it's just something that just reeks at noon out in Pasadena. I just don't get UCLA looked like absolute shit. 7 points against Utah, who just went and got their asses kicked by Oregon State. And Wazoo just beat that team, Oregon State. They raped Northern Colorado, beat Wisconsin, destroyed Colorado State. They're ranked top 15 in the nation, and 60-70% of the action's on them. Trendy dog alert. Whenever you see an unranked home fade, laying it to the ranked team who's quote unquote better. They're undefeated. UCLA just looked like trash in Salt Lake City. I know, but everyone forgets it's hard to go up to 5,000 feet and play well. So I'm going to go ahead and give me this just doesn't make sense why I think all the action, the line, like it's pretty big stance by the books to have it at 3 and now and even take the hook of giving people the hook, and the line's not budging. So give me the Bruins, take down those Cougs.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this, I think Monday morning. Soon we both instantly said we loved UCLA. We discussed, because I have a 2-unit banger I'm giving out tonight. We decided to let you give out UCLA, but it's no surprise that I am on this as well. I think UCLA goes in and beats the fucking piss out of Wazoo. Both of them coming off a bye week. You summed it up perfectly. UCLA gets embarrassed by a fucking garbage ass squad. Meanwhile, Wazoo puts up 38 on Oregon State. I'm gonna trust the book here. and trust that UCLA is a 3-point favorite for a reason. I think they win this game by 10.
I think real quick, I mean, the freshman quarterback going into Utah is much more difficult than playing a home game, even if the team is slightly better, they're playing offensively. Defensively, they're not going to look all that good. Dante Moore is going to look way better against that Washington State defense at home than he is at Utah.
I agree for sure.
That's one of the toughest places to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Salt Lake City.
Absolutely.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, all right. Thanks, Haz. Yeah. So on record, I am also on UCLA -3. But we decided Haz was going to give that out. He had the breakdown for it. Buff, hit us with something else. You got more plays on deck?
Notre Dame. I'm all over Notre Dame.
Oh, shocker.
Yeah. They're
Shocker.
10 They're 10
Surprised you
0.
didn't give out Syracuse.
They're 10-0. They're 10-0 against the spread against the ACC.
Yep.
Louisville only 3-7 against the spread as a home dog of 14 or fewer points. Notre Dame's covered the spread in each of its last 10 games as a favorite against ranked opponents. I mean, Notre Dame just steps up really big against ranked teams. I mean, they really should be undefeated. I can't believe they lost that Ohio State game on the last play of the game.
Buff, what'd you take them at?
But then you're not shocked that they got that 4th and 16?
Yeah, against Duke. Yeah.
Buff, what'd you take?
6.5.
At -6.5?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Louisville's passing defense is allowing almost 10 yards per completion. That should help Hartman. Another big thing is Hartman's 2 best wide receivers come back this week. Grayhouse and Thomas both been injured for 2 weeks, which is one reason why they struggled against Duke. So he's got both of his weapons on each side back this week against Louisville. Hartman been solid this year, 66% of his passes, got almost 1,500 yards, 14 touchdowns. But the big thing that caught my eye was he hasn't thrown any interceptions. He's been really good in the red zone, been really good driving the ball, hasn't been making mistakes. I mean, I think I saw one game where he threw one where it got tipped or whatever, and it should have been intercepted. But other than that, he's been really solid. And then, of course, Notre Dame's defense. I mean, they're only allowing 13 points a game. They're allowing only 251 yards per game. So another thing that caught my eye when I did a little bit of research on this one, seems like Louisville falls apart a little bit in the second half and in the fourth quarter. In college football, they're ranked number 7 as most points allowed in the fourth quarter, and they're ranked 8th as most points allowed in the second half. So this game,
Wow.
I could see Louisville hanging around in the first half, but I think the big boys up front for Notre Dame and the running game, I think it's going to take over in the second half, and I can see them kind of pulling away, maybe win by 10, maybe win by 13.
Nice. So I do want to go on record saying here, so I am a huge fan of this Notre Dame team. I think Hartman has been a monstrous upgrade. Maybe the best quarterback I could remember seeing playing for Notre Dame in my lifetime.
In our lifetime.
My big – so for me, it's Notre Dame or pass here for sure. What did not allow me to get to the window here with Notre Dame is looking ahead who they have next week.
Yep.
Probably the biggest game of the season. I would argue it's bigger than the Notre Dame Ohio State game. Notre Dame hosts USC next Saturday.
So my last bullet, and I didn't even get to it yet. My last bullet I have written down. Everyone talks about look ahead spot for Notre Dame. The last 5 years, they've won and covered against a team they've played before USC.
Wow.
The last 5 years, they've
Wow.
won and covered against a team they played before USC. So
That's an interesting stat. I like
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
So it looks to
Probably
me like
count on Buff to come up with some shit like that.
yeah. So it looks to me like they don't do too much of looking ahead. So
Yeah. Cool.
I got that from Mark Lawrence. You know who Mark Lawrence is?
Of course.
Yeah, I got it from his newsletter. I get his newsletter, and that stat was in there in the write up for the Notre Dame game.
Nice. That's like asking if you know who Joey Cheese is, of course.
Well, yeah, of course we do. Yeah.
All right, Kmart, let's go to you, pal. What do you got next?
Oh God! After that segue, I don't know if I want to go.
Oh boy.
So Utah State +3. They opened at +1. So I took them. I actually took them at both.
Double dip. You got them at
Actually,
one
I
and at
actually
three?
like them up to -4. Honestly, I think it's another game where I think CSU is getting a lot of recognition for their tough game that they played against Colorado a month ago. CSU's lost 6 of 8 road games. They've lost 4 of the last 5 as a road favorite. Like neither team's defense is very good, but I do like the fact the Aggies can rush, have been rushing for about 150 yards per game. So I like them to at least slow down the clock a little bit. But again, I think it's another line where the wrong team is favored, and I like the Aggies, taking that +3, but I like them, up to -4, probably -3. I can see them winning by 4+.
Are you recommending an alt line here? Are you pulling a me?
I mean, people can do whatever they do with the information I'm saying. Have I played it yet? No, but if I have a good Friday night, whatever we decide to degen, you never know what I might do.
I respect it.
One's on my radar. Kmart. I already played it.
Good shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kmart sent this in our group chat Monday morning or Tuesday morning.
I think I said it's Sunday night because the lines weren't out yet, and I didn't want to forget them.
Yeah. Chaz, what do you got for us? Hit us with something else.
All right. I've got one more big line to lay in the Big Ten. I'm sticking strictly in the Big Ten this week. So I'm taking Maryland plus 19.5 on the road at Ohio State. I think Ohio State is woefully overrated offensively. I don't think Maryland's a great defensive team, but they put up 31 points in every single game they've played this year. I understand Ohio State is pretty good defensively. They're likely going to slow down Maryland, but if you give Little Tua Jr. a little bit of time, he's been really good. So I would say that I think Ohio State's going to win at home, but I think this is going to be a lot more competitive. And even if it's not, it's likely that Ohio State might take their foot off the gas late, and you could even get a backdoor cover. I think you got 2 shots at it.
Yeah, I mean Maryland's offense is explosive. They are filthy.
I like all the big dogs in the Big Ten this weekend. I even looked at Minnesota getting 20 points. I thought that was maybe possibly worth it.
I just couldn't get to the window on that one.
I hear you.
Rutgers plus 19.5 from Chazzle himself. All right. Duke, what do you got? You got another one for us, pal?
Yeah, I'm doing it again, even though, I'm more stubborn than a fucking mule, but I don't give a shit. I'm going to do it. It's a CBS. All eyes on it. Fuck you, Saban. Give me the fucking Texas A&M Aggies. That line started 2.5 too. I know Kelly thinks it's kind of a public dog. I'm still seeing 60-something% of the bets on Bama, but the line's coming down. The 11th ranked team only land 1 to an unranked team. I'm sure people are going to say, when the hell do we ever get Saban at this low of a number? I mean, they even had to lay, 6 or 7 against Texas. You never really see Bama this low. Free money, right? I don't think so. Not so fast. I'll stick with it. Chaz McLongcock and I, we still think that Bama's just a bit overrated. I know he jinxed me last week, said they can't blow out a nose or whatever it was. I'm just kidding. That's my own fault for taking fucking Mississippi State. But yeah, I think this is a different whole ball game here. So I'll bite the bullet and give me the Aggies. Do it for Manziel, baby.
Love Johnny Manziel.
Didn't this line look ahead? Wasn't it Aggies plus 4.5?
It opened at plus 2.5 Sunday.
I know what it
night.
opened at. I'm saying it was a week ago when I looked. I swear it was plus 4.5, and I was circled A&M. Hell yeah, plus 4.5.
I didn't see the look ahead.
And now that it's gone to I actually wrote. I wasn't going to give this out, and I still haven't really bet it. But looking at the lines, Alabama -1 is I loved A&M at 4.5, but again, it's kind of going complete opposite what Chris just said. But Saban -1. Like, I feel like everybody, it's similar to even last year. To me, last year they weren't the same team. Their defense was probably one of the worst Saban defenses I've ever seen in my life. They still kind of, now this year, I feel like they've been in this position before where there's just question marks offensively. How are they going to score? Blah, blah, blah. I'm always taking the A&Ms. Fuck Alabama. I want to see them lose. I don't want to see them in the playoff. And I eat my lunch every time. So I'm actually going to flip it, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to take Bama -1 this week.
I get it, dude. I didn't say this. I didn't say this is
No, I know. Like,
it's
I
not the
agree
smartest
with you.
thing to do this, but
Yeah, it's just because it's like what we talk about in our group text. Like, you could make an argument and a rationalization and find a trend for both sides of this. Like, it's kind of meaningless. But
Yeah.
My
like,
biggest problem with it is
like if we're an A&M like -2, that would make me go, oh. But
yeah. We'll see.
But Alabama -1 is not a huge fucking red flag.
No,
Yeah,
I know, but
okay.
it's just what it's saying. It would
Yeah.
more times than not, the home fave on a short number like that in Alabama +2, that's what would keep me away from it and just watch.
I hate betting Jimbo Fisher at Texas A&M, period. I don't want to be on either side because no matter what I think is going to happen, it never happens. His team is the most undisciplined fucking college football team I've ever seen in my life. When they show up buttoned up, they're really good. When they show up and are absolutely, completely unorganized, they could get beat by anyone.
Yeah, Jimbo's inconsistent. But I kind of agree with Duke. I mean, that line's going the other way, and a whole lot of people are still betting on Alabama. So you got some reverse line movement. So, I mean, maybe they think that A&M's going to win outright.
Yeah, we'll see. Real quick before we get into our final segment, does anybody? Obviously, I have a 2-unit best bet. Did anyone save a best bet for the end of the show?
I did.
Buff.
I gave out my 2. So
Okay. Do you have another bet for? Do you have another one?
Yeah,
Kmart?
fucking
Got another.
gas mask gone.
I always bring 3. That's the point of this fucking show.
Let's go. All right, hit us with it, Kmart.
I can give out another one.
Kmart, hit us with it.
Give one out, Buff, if you got a third.
Yeah, I mean, I got a
Absolute whale max.
He's like, give me a minute, guys. Let me find it. I'll
Hang
find
on,
it.
I got to search.
Is this the take the wife and kids to fucking Sandals Resort?
This is a Trent classic right here.
Yeah. This is to take your wife and kids to Sandals in Jamaica Mega Whale Max Bomb Grenade.
You guys might not like this, but one play that caught my eye that I already took was Wyoming at +6.5 at home. Coming off 2 wins in a row. Fresno State has to travel, play at Wyoming. It's going to be tough with the elevation.
What's the line?
It's 5.5 now, but it opened 6.5.
He said he got 6.5. Yeah.
I posted it on October 4th, yesterday morning. So it's on my Twitter. But yeah, Wyoming coming off 2 good wins in a row. They're playing at home. Fresno State, first of 2 tough road games where they're 0-5 against the spread, and the first of the 2-5 against the spread as conference favorites of less than 7 points. Wyoming, like I said, tough place to play. 8-2 against the spread. Their last 10 games as an underdog at home. I think Wyoming keeps it close. I know Fresno State's a good team. Anything inside of 7 points, I'm happy with that. So I take Wyoming +6.5. You can put it down. You can put it down to 6 if it is right now.
Yeah, and I like that pick too. I haven't bet it yet. I think I've become a little bit of a homer for them because of all my buddies, having gone there. But I really do like that side. I agree with what you said. It's really tough to play there. We saw what they did to Texas Tech earlier in the year, and I'm probably going to end up following you on that.
Nice. All right, Wyoming +6. McChazzle, hit us with your best bet, pal. You've been pretty hot on these.
Best bet, Iowa -2.5. I've watched Purdue, thanks to Kmart, for about 5 straight weeks now. And I am not impressed.
-2 now.
I really thought Hudson Card was going to be a lot better than this. That line is not giving him a lot of time. If you have a pass rush, you can make him very uncomfortable. And most importantly, Iowa doesn't give up a lot of points at home. I think I could see a lot of short fields for their offense, which is miserable to watch, but they will manage to put up some points.
And didn't they lose their QB?
Cade McNamara is out for the season, their quarterback.
Not worried about it. They're going to run the ball. Purdue's given up at least 100 yards on the ground every single solitary week they fielded a team. I think Iowa runs for at least 100 yards, probably closer to 200 yards or more. And I don't think this one's even really all that close.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Their defense is so good.
Yep.
I bet against them in my best bet 2 weeks ago, and Penn State fucking annihilated them. But
offensively, they're miserable to watch. But at home with that defense,
I agree. It's a whole new beast at home too.
Yeah,
I agree. Haz, you got a best bet for us?
Yeah, I mean, I hate best bets because watch me go 2-1 and lose the best bet, but whatever the fuck ever. This is disgusting.
Spray that poop.
Give me we're out here. Give me that fucking Pac-12 after dark, baby. The disgusting Cal Bears. They look like shit. They could barely beat ASU, for Christ's sake, last week at home by 3. We just talked about it. Oregon State off a huge fucking win over Utah. They're loving it. Now here they are going into lowly Cal, only laying 9.5. I fucking see all the tickets, everything, 80%. Why is it not 10? Why aren't they moving it to give them the hook? Why? You got to lay 9.5, kind of like the Jets, right? And Chiefs on Sunday night. Why is that line just staying there, even though everyone's hammering the Chiefs? Give me Cal. I think it's one of the – I like to bet those late games. It's that get-out game. Everyone's going to tease it or money line it or whatever the fuck at the end of the night, get their money back. Not so fast. I already said I don't like to lay points with Ukulele that much anyways, especially closer to double digits.
DJ Ukulele.
Even though he's a Bosco brother.
Not a fan.
RIP to one of my Bosco brothers. He passed away, a cop on a motorcycle in Manhattan Beach this week. God bless his family. But go Cal Bears, home dog.
Yeah, I mean, it's a spot I looked at too. I mean, I'll be riding that as I'm passed out on the fucking couch Saturday night.
That's a cheese.
I was excited, man. I thought you were going to play the SC Arizona game. I was like, ooh, I'm going to be there. Yeah. And then, get this Cal shit.
Yeah.
Hey, Buff, you got any numbers on SC the game before they played Notre Dame?
0-13 versus spread.
All right, should I give out mine?
Yeah, let's hear yours.
All right, so I'm going to go with the Red River rivalry game.
Oklahoma.
So I think this line opened at 5.
Damn.
Went all the way up to 6.5. I punched it in at 6. It's now down to 5.5. So it's doing a lot of wibble wobble. I just think it's too many points, in this game. It's a neutral site. Otherwise, if it were in Texas, I might take Texas. But I just believe this game is more of a coin flip. So I'm going to take those points every time, especially close to a touchdown. I think a lot of people are looking, at Texas. Texas is back. They might finally be back. And they steamrolled Oklahoma last year, 49-0, I believe. Gabriel was out last year with his concussion. Sooners actually have a bit of a defense this year, although maybe they were looking ahead last week because Iowa State was putting up numbers on them in the first half. But this game's going to be close. I mean, apart from last year, I feel, 4 out of 5 of the past years, somebody got up by 3 scores and then they still lost the game. Like it's just always a fun atmosphere. It goes back and forth, and I'm going to take the points every time. I was just stunned it was this high.
Even though they got blown out 49-0 last year.
Yeah.
That's a good angle, right?
No Gabriel, though.
That
makes college.
Revenge, baby.
Sorry, Chris. Keep going. I was just talking through you.
No, I was just saying, yeah, you don't think they take that. I mean, I lived out in Norman. I've been to this. I haven't been in the stadium, but been to the Texas State Fair. Fucking amazing atmosphere. It's always an early start, 11 a.m. People are torched by 10, 11 in the morning. It's great.
Sounds like my type of people.
Right up your alley, Joey.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Max.
The Bears Fields just threw a touchdown.
Fuck
No.
Justin. Fuck Justin Fields. He's trash.
7-0.
Yeah, you're like 5 minutes late. Do an opening touchdown pass to DJ Moore. Like
I
5
know. I was like, I know Washington punted.
Yeah.
Fuck
the NFL. It's college football pod. Let's get at it. I got a
Bear cock.
I got a 2-unit best bet on the card. It's my only official play. Although I am also on UCLA -3 with the dog Hazmat. I am going to the 7 o'clock window in the SEC. We are going to Athens, Georgia, and I am playing the motherfucking Bulldogs -14.5. I think they absolutely fucking steamroll Kentucky. This is a Georgia team who is in an ultimate buy low spot. All I've heard all week is you can't bet this Georgia team. They can't cover the spread. 0-4-1 ATS. Sneak by South Carolina. Sneak by Auburn last week. If it wasn't for Bowers, they lose that game. Kentucky just rushed for 330 on Florida. Kentucky's riding an all-time high. Well, welcome to fucking Athens. I think you get your ass beat this weekend. I got Georgia winning this game by 30. I think they beat the fucking brakes off Kentucky. Let's fucking go.
Alternate line.
This Georgia D is no joke. 6th in the nation on third down. Number 1 scoring D in the SEC. 16th overall defense in the country. I don't think Kentucky moves the fucking ball on them. Kentucky, they're not impressive other than this Florida win. They have beaten fucking nobody. Every single one of their games, they're 24-point favorites, with the exception of -14 versus Vandy. And they were a 1-point favorite versus Florida, which leads me to believe they were expected to beat the shit out of all these teams they played. North Carolina State transfer Devin Leary has been trash. I think he is fucking garbage.
I was just going to ask you, do you think 9 for 19 for 69 yards?
51% completion percentage on the road. That is not going to cut it versus the fucking Bulldogs. I think Georgia fucking rolls like they did versus TCU in the semis. Give me fucking Georgia at 14.5. I like them alternate line -23.5 plus 380. I think they blow the fucking brakes off them. Let's go. Georgia Bulldogs, baby, 14.5. Let's fucking get it.
Are you gonna pass out?
They're not playing.
Don't fucking pass out. Let's go.
Bulldogs, baby.
Bulldogs, baby. We running with them. I think they beat the piss out of this Kentucky team.
All right, well, there you have it.
A mess.
That's a good spot for him.
Let's go. Anyone have an opinion? You guys have known all week. I bet this.
I've known all week, but no opinion. I usually stay away from laying that type of points, but I mean that confidence.
Don't fear.
Fuck it.
I wouldn't dare disagree.
We already did it with Texas last week. Banger. With Penn State against Iowa. Banger. Fuck it. Let's go again. Reload.
Let's go. Joey Cheese laying points is like a fucking lock. I don't ever lay fucking points.
By the way, I'm seeing 69 to 70% of the peeps liking Kentucky. They can't get enough of those points, huh, Cheesy?
Ooh, square dog.
Yeah, I saw 67% of the tickets on them earlier. That line hasn't budged.
Yeah.
Books know
down a little bit.
Books know better than to drop it to 14. You drop it to 14, Georgia gets fucking clobbered. Yeah, absolutely. Remember, just bookmark this. I think Georgia wins this game 38-7. I think they blast these fucking dudes.
So you recommend the under?
So I would lean to the under, but my biggest concern would be Georgia scores too many. Yeah. I would prefer Georgia on the alt line. I would be shocked if Kentucky finds the end zone more than once.
Plus 30, plus 6,000, or minus 30, plus 6,000.
Do you have that line available? That'd be hilarious. Yep. Yeah, so, they played Eastern Kentucky, they played Ball State, Akron Zips, Vandy. I mean, this is just
they're due for a big game.
Whole different ball game.
Yeah. We talk about recency bias all the time. Everyone saw Auburn almost beat Georgia last week.
Bowers has a huge cock, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, we watched Florida absolutely fucking run the ball. Kentucky ran the ball down Florida's throat last week, 330 yards. Florida couldn't get in the locker room quick enough and pack their bags to go home. Kentucky raped them. That game was over at fucking halftime. I expect the same type of output this weekend from Georgia. I think this game is in the books before halftime.
Yeah, they're due for a big game.
Yep. So let's fucking go. Fade you, baby, for idiots. Check us out. Watch the link. We all share the pod. If you didn't catch us live, feel free to watch, retweet, tweet at us. Let us know what y'all like. And one last thing before we go. Duke, what happens when you step on shit?
You might go 2-4 on your poopy six-pack, but we're getting the fire back this week, folks.
Hey, thanks for having me on, fellas.
Let's go, Buff.
Thanks for being there, Buff.
Thanks for being here. Fade you. Catch y'all next week.
And poop.